is there any role you didn't wish you didn't have to do? Any?
I don't think any of us have to do this. We were fortunate enough to get to do it.
Mine was actually a court order. I have.
I don't know about that stuff. So,
There are 13 days where you kind of go, oh, well, I got to go slave away in front of a hot microphone.
exactly.
Work, work, work.
I have a question for Tony, Todd, and
What is it?
what's your favorite Autobot?
Asking the ultimate bad guy. There's some psychology there.
We know who his favorite Autobot is, don't we, Tony?
I know which one he ought to say, Gary.
All right, one of the privates.
Thank you.
How often in life do you get to be bookended by Optimi? You know? So that's plural. We like to go more with Optimus.
Thanks for coming, gentlemen. I have a question for both of the Optimus Primes in the room. I was just wondering.
Nobody panic. We have taken control of the room.
Touch the person next to you tightly.
My wallet! My leg!
I was just wondering for either of the Optimuses in the room if you took any inspiration at all from the original Optimus Peter Cullen, or if you were intentionally trying to do something different with the voice.
You want to do that first, Garry? Well, okay, I can answer the first question. I'll tell you the truth. The G1 Transformers, I was not a huge fan. I know for all you purists out there, but you know, you've got to remember that I was an old man when the first Transformers came out. Well, not old like I have now, like ancient. But when I was in my 20s, so it wasn't the same thing for me, and I wasn't really attuned to how G1 went, and because I started on Beast Wars, which is a whole new generation of Transformers, we had to come up with a character that embodied the same qualities as the first Transformer, as the first Optimus Prime, but not as trucky, you know? Because basically I was a gorilla, and so I wanted what I wanted. Oh, okay, it's a gorilla theme that seems to run through my life. I've played gorillas on several occasions. But I wanted to bring to Primal a bit more humanity, a bit more warmth, and try and make him not a lighter, sensitive character, but well, just a little bit light and a little bit more sensitive than the G1 character.
That was
I'm hoping that it worked because I had to deal with Rattrap.
I know.
And Dinobot, and God knows how.
One more like that.
Dinobot, EMS every day, didn't you? If Dinobot was a woman, that's what would be happening. And sometimes I had my doubts. But anyway, no, that's why I wasn't really beholden to the old character, so I devoted myself to making a new one.
I'm feeling bloated and sensitive.
I know, it's been long.
I just need you to hold me.
When I worked on the show, I went in for the audition and I read for a couple of sidekicks, evil sidekicks, and an Autobot called X-Brom. The description of the character was a southern SUV. Seven wasn't no problem. I went ahead and laid this on, but if he's an SUV, you know, probably is, especially if he's in the South. They actually use them as SUVs, not like in Los Angeles, where they just drive around the roads. So if he's going off-road, he's bumping up a lot of stuff underneath, under his undercarriage, which tends to make him a little bit rougher. So this is how I read for X-Primal. And I was walking out of the booth, and I look in the control room, and there's a freeze frame of Optimus Prime. And I say to the producer, I go, because I can hear in the back of my mind Peter Cullen's voice. Not like he was saying, "Go ahead, leave." You know, it wasn't like that. It was, you know, hearing his performance. So I said, "Can I read for him?" And you've heard this story before. And the producer said, "No, we've got plenty of actors who have read for him. Thanks, Neil." And I left. I get a call a few days later. "Neil, the producers want to know if you can do that southern thing without the southern thing." I said, "You mean, can I do my voice minus a dialect?" "Yeah." "Great, because they think it sounds like Optimus Prime, and they want you to do the pilot. And then they'll decide if they want to keep you or not." So I record this role, you know, probably one of the 10 or 15 most recognizable, you know, icons around the globe. And I'm recording this and I can't tell anybody, because my luck, I'll record it, I'll tell everybody, they'll tune in, and I'll get replaced. So I went in and I recorded the first episode. Now, you probably don't know, but there were 2 different directors on that show. One was Mike McConaughey, who worked on G1. And the other one was Steve Kramer, who had nothing to do with the show at all. So if you go back and you see the episodes, you can tell if it's a Kramer episode or if it's a McConaughey episode, because Mike McConaughey would take words out of the script, give me less words to say, so that I could slow down and be more ponderous, a bit more like John Wayne, which of course led me closer to Peter Cullen. The other director, however, said, "No, energy. You would put more words in the script." So all of a sudden it was a young, you know, buck of an Optimus Prime. "Autobots, roll out." And doing that whole thing. And these guys never even found out until we did BotCon a year later, and I told the story, and they looked at each other and said, "Really? Neil, why didn't you say anything?" It's like, "because I'm an actor, I do what the director tells me." You know? So, yes, I did take influence from Peter's original performance. And of course, I've worked a little bit to develop the Peter Cullen sound from the movies. So, of course, should he not be available or decide to close boots up for a little while, because I've actually played a number of Peter's characters. I've played Eeyore, I've played Venger from Dungeons and Dragons, so I guess I tend to sound a little bit like the original. But yeah, I took an awful lot of inspiration from his work. I wasn't quite as old as Garry, but I was later on in high school. It wasn't quite my favorite show, but I didn't turn it off if the TV happened to have it on. Okay? So, yeah, Peter was a big influence on me.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's like I'm looking for you.
Hi, question for all of you, but what do you think about the negative, the negative response that Transformers 2 has been getting from critics and, not quite as hardcore fans?
Sorry, which Transformers which?
Revenge of the Fallen. It's been getting a lot of, negative comments.
Negative
Well,
reviews.
We won 3 raspberries, which I think is yeah, I love it. It's a movie made 900 million, you know. Yeah, I love it. I never got the raspberry before, but I personally didn't get it, so it's okay.
The writers,
the director, not the special effects guy.
But again, when it sits next to the receipt for $900 million, they go, okay.
Yeah. And they're rushing into production on the third 3D.